The enemies are at the gates. They're taking no prisoner. Communications has failed. Nobody can reason with the other anymore. Whatever the issue it was, it doesn't matter anymore. The time for talking has passed. Your people are burning alive outside. The claws are getting closer. They want your neck. The annihilation of you, your people, your history. They want it all gone. The claws get closer. Your sense of self-preservation kicks in. You flee after giving a speech of one final stand. In your heart, that only applies in fairy tales. No amount of bravery will save you and your people. Deep down, you know this in your heart. You gather your last bit of strength as your army tries to make every ground the enemy takes pay a high toll in blood. It's all you can do. The claws get louder. You flee unnoticed. The last of your people notice. They feel betrayed by you. In their last moments before the claw claims them, they think back on how they should have never supported you. Everything that has led to this is now your burden. You lose everything. Your family, friends, wealth, and a place to call home. Your attackers get heavily wounded and leaves behind evidence of something that can hurt them. You only find this out after returning to your now destroyed village. Well, you lived in the castle of said village, but it was your home. Your responsibility to protect. You hear the echoes of those who curse your name. You're not sure if they were ghosts or your own guilt. You travel back in the castle. You find it. The most kept secret in the kingdom. That secret being, your attacker can bleed. You hide the evidence. Maybe behind the curtain. Maybe somewhere else. Who knows? Different people with different motives will soon be searching for it. All of them family. Not yours, though. But it's a tale for a different time. Right now, you only have one thing on your mind. Revenge. You can't directly hurt the one who hurt you. So you go try to hurt their heirs of the kingdom. While you track down said heir, you remember your enemy well. You do research and find the heir is greedy and will act on it, hurting those who are its subjects for personal gain. Prideful your enemy is. To know one day such inheritance belongs to them, even if it's going to hurt people. But you don't care about politics. You only care for the death of those who wronged you. The kobolds are currently the richest reign right now. She'll be there. You know it. You go deep into the mines and see her. The hair are abusing their power on the people here. You don't care about the people here and are willing and going to kill anyone in your way. But something weird is happening. Someone is standing up to the dragon. You don't know it yet, but this someone is your future. A future for something greater. You hide out of sight. He did it. You can't believe it. He hurt the red dragon hair. For a second time in history, you know these creatures can bleed. You secretly tag along with your target as she flees, grabbing her by the tail while nobody noticed. You get dropped into another tower. where you're captured alive. Your enemies know you have the knowledge to eliminate them, so you get locked up, waiting for a champion to save you. Before you know it, he's here. Your champion has arrived. Life as you know it will take a turn, but you can't help but feel a deep kinship with this person that is so intense you can't bear to handle the idea of ever losing them. You have nothing else in the world but this total stranger. The fate of what will become of you will now be determined by this person as you give them your blind devotion. You don't give them a chance to choose you as a person. At this moment in time, a choice must be made by them. The timeline splits, and in this timeline, he chooses to help you. You immediately lock up any woman he brought with him to the tower and send his children away, seeing everyone in his circle as enemies looking to take away the only thing you latched onto. Eventually, you track down the hideout of this red dragon, ready to spill their blood, but they already vanished. To the castle above the skies. To get there requires blood from the ongoing crisis that has afflicted the land. Only 3 of them die. Maybe you're no different than them. You helped destroy 3 others, like your village. Are you the monster now? Are you no better than them? You see the one who led the assault on your village, punished the red one severely. You have no words. Maybe this was pointless. But then she showed up. A trickster who tricked you into having the war against your former queen. She separates you forcefully. She takes pride in it. She then forces herself on your champion and makes you watch. You feel helpless against her magic. You failed again. This time it hurts different now. It's a failure to protect the one you love the most. Your champion. Your hero. You can't help him. You both get teleported away. You know she's trying to set him up for the queen to use as a pawn. The war against you hasn't ended. You cannot intervene. You rush back to the tower you were locked up in. You know they want the evidence. A piece of the queen that has stayed in your village. You set up everything to counter the imp's plan. The hero comes and finds your pieces of the puzzle. He came here searching for you. But you took a gamble. A gamble. You cannot intervene. You have to let this happen. He goes to the place of meeting with your longtime enemy. She places an illusion spell. You can only watch in horror and pray he doesn't fall for her tricks. He doesn't. He slays Dusk Princess down. But you realize how close he came to dying. If he followed her plan, she would surely kill him. You bear the thought of losing him a second time. But then, he chooses you. You as a person. He could have chosen anyone, but in the end, really, he did love you. He saved you. Now you saved him. You're both free to leave the fractured kingdom, doomed to war, behind. Somewhere out there, living life and being happy. For the first time since your village was burned down. This is your new village now. Your person. Life is chaotic. But maybe even in the end of civilization, Who you bring into your life is more important than the troubles of the land overall. Spending time with them in the chaos is better than saving a doomed kingdom. After all kingdoms fell, eventually. Yeah, that was a 10-minute intro. So this is where the real video goes in. I just wanted to set the mood. Because, so this is gonna sound extremely retarded, but ever played a game and after you finish playing it and you get like, you just sit down and you think about it for like a minute and you just, it's like watching a good movie, good book, or anything. You just think about it for a few days. Think about the characters, because you go in not really thinking you're going to care about certain characters, and then you just end up caring about them, and it's like, oh god, what has this piece of media done to me? And I say that, as you probably already know, this game is called Princess and Conquest. It's really stupid because it's a hentai game. And it's like probably one of the best games made if you ignore the hentai stuff. And played it for like a few years. Played it before it even had a 1.0 version. I remember some really buggy and stupid things. I remember if a rain falls and then another rain were to take over that said rain that already fell, then somehow they took over everything else. It was so dumb. But I'm not going to talk about those things, because, I've played through the game, done a bunch of routes, and I never really touched on Dog's Princess. I've seen other people talk about it on the Steam forums and on Reddit, and I was like, oh, it's just a Yandar character that's just obsessed with you, okay. And, the community online does a really good job of not talking about any plot lines. Like, it is hard to find spoilers for this game, mainly because nobody's looking for them, because it's a hentai game. It's one of those games, so nobody really cares. But, it's also an indie game, and it's very well written. And I did the Dog Princess route, and there's to me it was a roller coaster. I don't know why. It just was. So I was kind of getting bored, because I was like maybe a week into the game of this new playthrough. I already have like New Game Plus, whatever, been playing it over and over. Because I like sandbox games. I could just do whatever. And then I was really bored because I was able to get the entire kingdom to be at peace with each other. Because I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a bunch of things. And then I got sidetracked with a bunch of things. And then I even went out of my way to romance Bird Princess of all people. And did her storyline, which included meeting the Dragon Queen, and then sneaking into the Queen's castle and doing the Keep Order quest that Dust Princess gives you. And I was like, okay, I guess I could do some of this, since I never really played the game and got full dragon affinity before. And then I was really bored of keeping the peace between everybody. Only one rain fell. Now it's the slime rain. Well, actually two. The mermaids kind of took them down, and then the Fenheads took them down. I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm just playing around. It got to the point where everyone was declaring war with each other, but I was doing so much stuff with all the factions to be on their good terms that I was able to get everybody to like do peace deals with each other. So everybody just kind of stopped going to war with each other. And then I went down south and found a tower. Mind you, I never done Dog Princess storyline. And curiosity got to the best of me. Because I was like, what is this tower down here with a color on it? I have never once explored this area. So I guess I'm just going to explore it. And then Dog Princess. It was Dog Princess. And then I got the message, you could get locked into this storyline. And I was like, you know what? She's giving me crazy vibes. This is just a crazy Yondar lady. I'm just gonna go with it, see where this goes. And holy crap, that was a up and down kind of thing. So I only knew of her from like art and from people going, hey, stay away from this crazy lady. And never really dig deep into it. So, go in, get the key, use the key that I found in the tower to unlock her cage. Of course, I found the letter, read it, because, I really love lore and world building. And when it comes to games like Skyrim and Fallout, I like to read the terminals and books, get a sense of how the world is. And that was one thing that keeps drawing me back to this game, is the world building. It's really good. So I read the letter. I was like, oh wow, this person got banished in the tower and wasn't killed by the Dragon Queen. That's kind of weird. Because mind you, in the Finhead Rain, there's a big-ass sea monster underneath the ocean that Dragon Princess 4 is trying to keep back. And they never finished that quest line. It's still a work in progress. So, mind you, if you play the game and you talk to several NPCs, you kind of learn that there was a war of conquest, of unification. Dragon Queen, I think it was like 1,000 years ago, had a whole war to unite the entire kingdom under her banner. And they kept it under her rule for a really long time. Super long time. And it's obvious they use fear. So they try to use fear, mafia tactics, to try to keep everybody in line. So it was important for them to make sure that people don't ever see a dragon bleed, because it's unheard of. Even in all the reigns and their crazy backstories with the crazy things each reign goes through, the dragons everyone was scared of. I don't even know if the mermaids were kind of scared of Dragon Queen. Most of their thing was about the Spica. But anyways, I had Bird Princess with me. And she was the only princess with me, and several other progeny that I had from Bird Princess and Rabbit Princess. And as soon as I go in to unlock the door for Dog Princess, she sends my progeny to the daycare and she locks out Bird Princess. And then Bird Princess had a really interesting line that kind of stuck out with me, and that was, the queen should have put you down like a mad dog. That is what she says. I'm just paraphrasing. I don't know if it's verbatim. It could be, but I was like, damn. So Bird Princess knew about this. Well, of course, because her and the queen are very close. So at this point, I figured I should just lock into the storyline with Dog Princess because Bird Princess is locked up. So this storyline was kind of getting a bit interesting from my perspective. Because mind you, we just locked up the person who is super close to the Dragon Queen. So we kind of fucked her over. Like really bad. So I was like, okay, let's just continue this quest line. So then the quest line has you talk to Dog Princess. She's very vague about why she was locked up in the tower. But you soon learn. We're getting into spoiler territory, so if you don't want any spoilers, you shouldn't have clicked the video. She doesn't tell you, but you soon learn why. So eventually, you guys are tasked with finding Dragon Princess's one is a little castle. And when I first played the game, the very first route I did was Cobbled Princess, because to me that felt like the canon route. But there is a canon ending, and I don't know if that ending is still in the game or not. I've never went and did it. But I think the achievement and the ending is called canon ending, or true ending, or something along those lines. But because I played the game so much, I remembered where she was. So we go over there, and castle's empty. Dragon Princess 1 is not there. So then we go upstairs and find a portal. And to activate the portals, you need Princess Urns, and the Dog Tower has a Princess Urn with a Princess Soul already in it. So that's how I was able to figure out, hey, maybe this goes here. So then I go and I break some peace treaties. I had the Moss attack the Cat Princess, and then I go in and attack Cat Princess Castle, kill her, and then I figured, well, I kind of hate the goblins, so I had the goblins declare war on the rabbits and the rabbit hair, because, you know, at that point I already did Rabbit Princess, how far you could get into her. I couldn't figure out a way to activate her route, so the rabbit hair declared war on the goblins, went in, killed the goblin, took her soul, and I was like, okay, we got enough souls, because Cat Princess had 9 souls. Had no real reason to go in and betray the goblins. Kind of felt like Palpatine a little bit, doing an Order 66 on certain reigns. I thought that was pretty funny. That I betrayed my hard work from earlier. So then eventually, we go back to the castle, activate the gates, go in to the Dragon Queen's castle, and then we witness the Dragon Queen berating Dragon Princess 1 in front of the other 2 Dragon Princes. And then she, like, bitch slaps her, grabs her crown, throws it on the floor, and stomps on it. Basically banishes her. Then Dusk Princess shows up again in this playthrough and is like, hey, wanna do some evil and take down the queen? And then I thought, because from other playthroughs and endings, that Dusk Princess was always kind of sus, I thought she was planning to take down the queen. So I went along with it. Turns out she wasn't. And that was a big twist. Really big twist on my part. Because I was not seeing that coming. I was not expecting her to be loyal to the Dragon Queen. So eventually you get separated from Dog Princess. And you and Dog Princess are just not together when you wake up. Because Dusk Princess kind of does a thing and makes Dog Princess watch as she has her way with you, kind of forcefully. Kinda, I don't know if it's forcefully because it's implied the knight kind of likes it. I don't know. I'm not going into that territory. Not touching that with a 10 feet pole. But, you eventually do meet up with Dusk Princess, and she's like, okay, I'm going to teleport you to a village. And then you learn that village is Dog Princess's former home. And then you get the pendants, and then you talk to a fairy, and the fairy's like, oh yeah, the dog people hate Dog Princess for abandoning them, but doesn't matter because they all died. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then went back to Dusk Princess, and I thought it was all hunky dory. I didn't pick up on the hints to not listen to Dusk Princess, so I ended up dying because she betrayed me and just kills my character. So then I was kind of pissed, so I reloaded, and then did not give it to her, and then she ended up dying. And then Dog Princess comes, and then you both just leave. She drops. She's like, you know what? I don't even care about revenge anymore. Let's just go leave the kingdom and just live out in the middle of nowhere and be happy. And then that ending got to me. It really did. She let go of a lot of hate and stuff, and a lot of other routes. None of the other characters let go. They just fully commit to overthrowing the Dragon Queen or rebuilding their kingdom or something else that has to do with whatever issues they got going on. But this was different. This was somebody who had all the status in the world, had it taken away from them, and then they chose to be with somebody who cared about them. And that kind of spoke to me on a deep personal level. There's not a whole lot of media that's yeah, the protagonist lets go of their hate. And if they do let go of their hate, then they still end up winning because the bad guy dies or something. Deus Machina type of thing. But it didn't happen here. They leave. No loose ends were tied up or anything. They just left, did their own thing. Whatever happened to the kingdom, whatever happened to it. And I'm pretty sure there was a lesson in that. The average revenge is kind of destructive and all that. But I think there was something else into it too. It was yeah, sure, the world is shitty and you have all this trauma and stuff happen to you, but life is worth it being with somebody that you love. No matter the trauma, no matter the state of the world. Even if the world were to have an apocalyptic end, it still matters. The people in your life still matter. And I feel like that was the message. It doesn't have to be about love. It could be about being with family, being with friends, but letting the person in your life, your personal life, is just really important. And you can react. The only thing you can do is react to the things that happen to you that are wrong. Then she dropped it. She dropped it and chose love. She could have kept choosing hate, but that would have destroyed her. And I think she saw that when she saw the knight your character, when you play the game, get sent to that illusion world because he could have very easily died. She bet everything on him because she had faith in him, and she's like, yeah, I'm not going to make another gamble with his life again. Let's just go enjoy life with each other. And it's a very beautiful message. And I never really thought of Dog Princess like that, but after that ending, seeing that cutscene of her and the knight at that house, and he's just petting her while she's on his lap. Mind you, look, this is a hentai game, but the ending was wholesome. There was no not safe for work imagery at this point in the game, at the end. Like, some of the other routes have some of that, but this route didn't. It was, she's laying on his lap, and he's petting her, and they're talking about how nice it is to be with each other, leaving everything behind, and that was almost tear-jerking, because I don't know, that really made me care about those two just being together. It made me want to know what their life was like after that. You know, they were happy after that. And I'm kind of used to, like, you know, I've played all of Fallout 1, 3, 2, New Vegas. Never really finished Tactics. Replayed 4, then Tactics, Oblivion, played Morrowind. I played Mother 3. Mother 3 was the only other game that kind of made me think about it. After I put down Mother 3, I thought about that game a lot. Like, that game was very emotional. And the Dog Princess route was very emotional too. Like, yeah, she goes crazy if you sleep with another woman in that game, and then she'll stab you to death in the tent if you go and camp that night. But if you have enough swirlies or enough time and a week passes in game, she'll calm down. But it's an interesting mechanic. It kind of shows, to me, it shows that she lost everything and she just latched on to your character, and that's why she's a yonder. I'm not defending it. I am not excusing it. But it shows a major flaw in her character. And she takes it very personal. And I understand why, because of that trauma of having your entire life being burned down. But if your character chooses to be with her, there's a happy ending for both of you. And another thing that sticks out with me is Dog Princess is the only other princess in the game that doesn't really put down your knight. Like, the other princesses were like, you know, they're kind of stuck up. A lot of them are, and they will talk down to your character a lot of times upon certain events in the game, but she's the only one who's never really done that. She's like, I mean, yeah, she gets weird. It's like, you're my master, you're to serve it. Kind of weird. But like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. But like, at first it's not love. But then eventually, if you do the quest line, it kind of turns into love. Because the knight does fall for her if you do the route. Like, he starts going, where's she going? Like, where's she at? After you both teleport. And then he's like, I can't go to the village and take down the queen without her. And then Dust Princess is like, well, you have to. And then the knight's like, okay, well, she'll be upset if I didn't do it. Like, there's hints there that he did develop feelings for her and everything. And then when they did choose each other, they were happy. You can't force a relationship. It's not healthy. It's not even a good thing. And the game shows that when she's like stabbing him to death because he slept with another person. And her sprite changes to like that white fluffy thing. But at the end of the day, if they did choose each other willingly, they are happy with each other, living out in the middle of the woods doing nothing. They're not doing nothing, they're just enjoying life. And it's not fancy, it's very modest. And I don't know, that just sticks out to me. The game stops talking about the fate of the kingdom after that because it no longer is relevant. And I kind of like how open-ended it was. It whatever happens doesn't matter. And I just can't really stop thinking about it. Kind of like how Mother 3, that game, really never stops thinking about that. But yeah, dumb hentai game made me catch the feels for a dog. Because that was, to me, that was very emotional. And yeah, I know there's a lot of good games and stuff out there that have emotional things, and I know some people will be like, oh yeah, well, these games had higher emotional stakes. But like this one, they could have very easily just went with a whole different message, but they didn't do that. And I really felt like that was great writing. And I think there was no better way to end that route than with how they ended it. And I kind of view the character a bit differently now. I don't really view her as a Yandar character. I kind of view her as more of a tragic character. Maybe I'm empathizing with a fictional character too much. But like, that ending was right in the feels, man. That hit right in the feels. Well, I guess that's about everything I wanted to talk about. You guys have a good one.